Good morning and welcome to 365 Days of Stories with Theo Mayer. Today is day 134, and I'm going to begin telling you the stories from 1001 Arabian Nights. To begin, it's important that you understand why there were 1001 stories told. It starts off in the land of Persia, where there was an incredible ruler who was beloved by all of his people and feared by his enemies. And during the course of time, when he ruled over this great kingdom, the kingdom prospered. And when he died, he left it in a much better state than it had been in before. He far surpassed any other ruler in bringing about the prosperity of the people because he had their best interests in mind. Now, he had two sons. The eldest was Shahriyar, and the younger was Shahzamar. Hopefully I've pronounced those properly. Shahriyar, well, he was troubled by one thing, which was that the rule of law was that there would only be one sultan. He wanted to share the rulership of the kingdom with his younger brother, who he loved dearly. The two of them loved each other. But the law would not allow that. So at a certain point in time, Shahriyar divided the kingdom, and he gave half to his younger brother. Now, Shahriyar, he had a beautiful wife, beautiful sultana, and he showered gifts upon her as no other woman probably had experienced. He loved her. He'd go to no length to provide her with whatever it is that she wanted. But much to his dismay, he accidentally happened upon her when she was not being faithful to him. And the penalty for such behavior was that she would be put to death. And this happened. And Shahriyar, at that point in time, well, it crumbled him. He was broken inside by what he was forced to do by law, but also his heart was broken and his trust in really humanity shifted from one where he trusted people to one in which he did not. And he was so bitter that he felt that the world would be better off without women in it. And so he began a custom of marrying a young woman and having her put to death the next day. Now you can imagine that the sultan who had been praised and loved before this time was now feared and hated. The kingdom became a place where fathers would be crying at the fate of their daughter or daughters, and mothers would be weeping as well. It is Mother's Day today, and any mothers out there who are listening, or anyone who can imagine what it would be like to be a mother, can imagine what it would be like to have to send your daughter off to a fate like this, where she would be married and then the next day put to death. And this was an experience that so many people of the kingdom were having, and all the rest were fearing. Well, the Sultan, Shahryar, had a grand vizier. He was the guy who served him in doing whatever it is that he asked for, whatever the Sultan asked for. And it was the grand vizier's task to have these women put to death. And it was, of course, incredibly difficult for him to carry out this task.